This video will show you a powerful tool for mapping out your goals so that you really accomplish what you want. I'm going to show you firsthand how you can do it so that you can really get what you want in life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a new process of something that I'm applying in my own life, something I think is very powerful and that really gives us and allows us to map out the course of the direction of what we're doing in our life. Now, this involves a technique that has to do with mapping out our goals and developing a bit of a timeline and developing a bit of intention so that we know as we go forward in what we call our future, we are able to see those kind of things in our life. So the first thing I want to say is that a deadline is very important when it comes to goals. Now, at the fundamental base level, something I talk a lot about on this channel is that the only moment that really exists is this moment right now. That what we can do is take present action, so take action completely focused in the present moment, but in general, having some type of timeline and having some type of pressure on us is what is necessary for us to really take action and to know that we can move towards what we want to accomplish in our life. Now, this is something that I think has been proven many, many times over the last hundreds of years, probably for even longer than that. But if you read the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which I think I have it somewhere else, and other a lot of research as well, it shows that people that make goals years later have accomplished much more than people that don't make goals at all. So that's just to let you know that goals are important. Goals are something that can really change your life if you start to make them. And what we can begin to do is know that as we give ourselves some type of mental frame, some type of intention, some type of goal that we map out, it gives us a direction that we can move into, and it allows us to really get pulled towards that direction. Now me, for example, I used to be somebody that procrastinated a lot. I was aware anytime I had a school project back in school, I would get it all done. I would always do it. I would always get what I needed done, but I would do it the last minute, and I would be the night before studying very hard or be doing whatever project it was. And that's why I've had to kind of change the way I look at this process by giving myself my own mental deadline before that of when it's actually due and when there's actually something I need to get done. And all you got to do is realize that if you frame it in such a way, if you think about it in such a way, you will get things done much faster. So internal pressure is very important. Now let me get into the bulk of this video, the part that I think will add a ton of value to you guys. It's understanding how we can use goals when it comes to mapping it out on a piece of paper. Now what you can do is you can set long-term goals and short-term goals of having a mental image or a picture in your mind of what you want to accomplish. You could also call this an outcome. That's something that Tony Robbins talks about a lot. And what you do is you have the outcome and you write down, so it's almost it can also be like a journal. I know recently we did a video on the channel about journaling. What you could do is you could have a certain month. So say right now it's November. What we could do is we could have November, December, January, February, March. You could have all of those months, and what you can do is have certain goals each month of what you want to accomplish and what you're going to do, the outcomes of what you're going to do, but also the process of what you will be doing in those months so that you kind of have a mental frame of what you want to create. Now, here's the power of this whole video. What you want to do is reverse engineer what you want to create in your life. So for example, if you're oh, I want to own my own art gallery, right? That's something that maybe some people want to do. What you do is you say, okay, what is the time frame for when I can accomplish it? And what you have to do is you have to be somewhat honest to yourself, but you can also push the frame a little bit. You can push your mind into what is possible. So you could say, do I believe that I could own an art gallery in 3 years? No. Maybe that, I'm just saying, maybe you're honoring your belief system. Then you could say, well, do I believe that I can own my own art gallery in 4 years? Maybe. Do I believe I can own my own art gallery in 5 years? Absolutely. That's something I think I can definitely do. That's what it'll take, is it's going to take about 5 years. And then what you could do is you can work on yourself is, could you break through limiting beliefs? Could you lessen that time of what it'll take? Whatever it is. And it could be a lot shorter. I'm just giving you an example. It could be a year, whatever it is. But that's what you ask yourself so that you kind of do this in alignment with part of your belief system. Because if you're I'm going to manifest and create an art gallery in the next 3 weeks, That's something I'm sure can be done at a certain level. And if you read books by like Grant Cardone, which is like 10x rule, then you'll see that you can also 10x your goals. So there's ways and techniques of doing it, but I'm just using this as a general metaframe for us to understand. So what you could do is you could say, okay, it would take me about 5 years to open up my first art gallery. Now what you can do is a number of things. You could find people that have opened up their own art gallery. You can go into their actual art galleries and you can talk to them and see what steps they had to take, how did they get started, what have they been doing, how did they start out. And as you ask those questions, you can model what they've done. It's like a Tony Robbins type thing. Model exactly what they've done to get a similar result. So what you could do is you could say, what did you do in the first year? What did you do in the second year? What did you do in the third year? How long did it take you? And you can start to see what that is so that it gives you some type of basis to go off of. Then what you do is you map out on a piece of paper the next 5 years, maybe year 1, year 2, year 3, 4, 5. And what you do is you reverse engineer and see what actions you'll have to take, what you'll have to accomplish in each individual year leading up to being able to open up your own art gallery. Now, what you do is you do that and you write down the outcomes and the things you'll have to accomplish. So maybe it's that you have to first off start with where you are. Maybe the first thing you have to do is you have to start posting on social media more. You have to start selling online. You have to start putting yourself out there and offering to do free work for celebrities or people that are social media influencers. Whatever it is, you start doing things like that. You start reaching out to people. Then the second year, you're going to focus more on creating some type of lease. You lease something from somebody else, like a little space in some type of art gallery that already exists. And you start putting your stuff in there. And you have this mental map in your mind that you're going to do something like that. Then the third year, you're going to decide you're going to apprentice for somebody that has their own art gallery. And you're going to do some work with them and you're going to collab with them somehow. Or then you're going to, fourth year, you're going to actually launch your first, some type of series or something like that. You see what I mean? This is just an analogy. I'm just kind of pulling out of my, just out of thin air here. Those are the kind of ideas that you can use. And then what you do is you break those 5 years down and then you focus on what you have to do this year. So then you map it out January, February, March, April, May, all the way to the end of the year, or whatever part of the year it's in right now. And then you do the same thing. Well, that stuff that I said I wanted to do in this 1 year, what do I have to accomplish in each individual month? And then you write that down on a piece of paper. Well, maybe I'm going to have to, first month I'm going to have to start studying people that have already done it. I'm going to find out what are the core things that people say. I'm going to go into the actual art galleries that already exist and I'm going to interview them. I'm going to record it if they let me. I'm going to remember what that is. I'm going to read the books of people that have done it before. I'm going to be inspired every single day. I'm going to create art every single day. Whatever it is, you find out what that is and you do it and you then block it into those months. But then what you do is you do it per month. So then you say maybe per week what you have to do. So you break it down into weeks. So maybe January, the first month of whenever this is, then you decide I need to do this the first week, this the second week, this the third week, this the fourth week to get that whole month goal of whatever you have. So do you see what I mean? What you do is you map it out on a piece of paper and you break that down into each individual frame and you can keep doing that over and over again. If you do this process and if you apply it, you will begin to see results because it gives you a way to take action and it gives you a direction to move in, and it is something that is just so powerful. It's something I've done. I've reverse engineered the way and the intentions I have over the next 5 years to become a world-class speaker, to be somebody that's able to move audiences, to be somebody that's able to create amazing programs that transforms people's lives, to be somebody, I think about the kind of house that I want to live in. I want to live in like a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot house with amazing architecture, very modern type looking. I want to be able to, travel whenever I feel like. I want to be able to live in different parts of the world. These are different aspects of how I view it and I reverse engineer it. What will I have to do? What will I have to accomplish? And how much value will I have to give to other people to get my goals done? So you see, I kind of switch it around a couple different ways. But that's the way that I view it. I think that we have the ability to map it out and that this also leaks into something with the law of attraction that is called segment intending. When we have a certain basis or we have certain ideas of what direction to move towards, what that does is it primes our brain for certain type of experiences. It primes our brain to put ourselves into certain states, to get certain things done. And that mapping, that future pacing, that the way we think about it can absolutely affect the kind of results that we get. And especially as we infuse action into it, it is just so powerful. Now, another thing that I've done, because I realize how powerful the subconscious mind is in reprogramming our life, what it has to do is changing how we think, how we act, and how we feel. So what I've done is created a very powerful guided MP3 meditation. It's also considered a hypnosis that you can listen to before you go to bed every single day. You can listen to it halfway through your day whenever you want. Listen to it for at least 21 days to a month, and you'll find that things really begin to change in your life, because what you're doing is you're changing your self-image from the inside out. It's an absolutely free meditation. You can download it below. It's in the top of the description box, and you'll find that if you do that, you're going to start to think about yourself differently, and you're going to start to have a different type of experience, because you're literally seeing yourself in a completely new light. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you can see the daily videos that I do. YouTube's changed things around now, and apparently in order for you guys to actually see the videos, you have to click that button. And other than that, as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.